Hi guys, I'm Lakshmi and I got an offer to study at Imperial College London Business School, and I'll be studying MSc in Strategic Marketing from the year 2023 to 2024. So it's a 1 year course. So just a small video about how I got into this course, because while I was searching for the same, I couldn't find a lot of videos specifically for Imperial Business School and specifically for this course, that is marketing. So I thought I'll just clear some doubts here and there, or maybe just share my own experience as to how the entire process was for me, because I got a lot of texts on LinkedIn and I spoke to a lot of other prospective students who would be applying to Imperial next year. And I thought I'll just share one video so it'll be helpful to people out there. I haven't made a lot of videos, so I think this will be one of them where I'll be sharing my experience. And another thing would be that last year a lot of people helped me while I wanted to apply to Imperial, and a lot of people were super nice, super grateful and super accommodating while I was cold texting them on LinkedIn shamelessly, and they were really sweet about it, to have a phone call or a text on LinkedIn. So I would like to thank them, and I would like to move ahead with what they did to me. I would love to be that kind of help to somebody who needs it, like me this year. So without talking a lot about other things, I've divided the video into four parts, I think. You'll get to know that. So I've made a small note here as to what I have to speak on. So let's get started. Okay, so first what I want to talk about is how did I go about with the application process, right? So Imperial, and I'm sure certain other business schools, I think Warwick also has this process of a lengthy application, like 3 pages of application on the portal. For Imperial, it was Imperial Gateway, and you get like 2-3 pages where you have to fill in your details and information and everything. So the SOP is you don't have to upload the SOP document. For example, Manchester, you have to upload the document where you've written your SOP. But for Imperial, they have the SOP questions where you have to fill in your answers based on the SOP that you've made or whatever you feel like. So that's how the entire thing was. So it was a little bit tiring and rigorous because unlike the already made SOP that you have here, you have to think a little bit more on the questions. I mean, a lot of things would kind of overlap with what you've written because they are SOP questions, but then there are certain things where you have to think and where you have to be very true to yourself as to what you want, because what Imperial wants is what you are going to do with the degree and where you're going to take it ahead and how you're going to take it ahead and where you see yourself. Yeah, the typical interview questions of where do you see yourself in 5 years, they won't ask you that directly, but the questions they ask you would make you would make you think as to where you would be in the next coming few years. Very futuristic kind of questions. So that's what I had to say. So kind of be prepared, because it took me about a week or two to like sit properly and think about it and write everything down. So I suggest you to already refer the SOP that you might have made for your other colleges, which can act like a blueprint so that you can form better answers for a period. So this video is not about how to write an SOP or how to get into Imperial. This is more about like the process that I went through and the certain experiences which I want to share. Because I thought genuinely initially I thought of keeping it to me, and I thought, okay, I felt sad about it, but I was like, no, I think I should let it out. I won't be naming people or I won't be naming companies or anything. I just want to share the experience that I went through, and I hope people who are going to be going through the same process again wouldn't face the same, or if they are, they would find some way to get out of it probably, or they'd find some sort of peace or comfort in this video. So yeah. So I'm sure a lot of us always think about going to a counselor or an agent to help us with the process, because the entire process might seem intimidating. I'm 100% sure, but like I said, I applied to Imperial on my own. Though the application process for Imperial was the most difficult one. I mean, in terms of the things that you had to write. It's not difficult, as to say. It's very basic information that you have to write. It's just like you have to cross check multiple times. That's the only difficult part, I guess. The rest you have to do it on your own because it's your application in the end. So another reason that people go to agents or counselor, what I went for was to so I wanted to apply to 5-6 colleges and had to keep 1 or 2 colleges as like the backup option, or the safe schools that you'd say. So I know a lot of counselors and agents in India have some sort of tie-up, something going on, which I'm not quite sure what it is, where you get these application fee waiver, because already applying to a lot of universities was costing me a lot, and I think the pound rate was kind of going up that time, and before it went up ahead, and I really wanted to finish the application process because it was costing about 6 to 7k per application, and Imperial cost me around 8 to 9k. So it was already a very tough process, and I had to apply to 6-7 universities, so it was already costing me a lot. So I thought if I would get some sort of waiver, application fee waiver, through one of the agents, that would be great. So my process, my agenda or thought process was not to get it filled by them, or get my SOP made by them or verified by them. My entire idea was to basically ask them to just send my application forward, and if I get the waiver, that'd be the great thing. So I went to a lot of big names, but I think I just didn't like the attitude that they were presenting. They were pretty laid back and confusing, because obviously they are big companies and they have a lot of students, so they wouldn't pay attention to one student. And shooting at the bigger business schools might have seemed a little bit weak to them, because I think Cranfield was the only university which you would say my safe school, because I applied to Manchester, Edinburgh, Warwick, Imperial, and this one. So it might have seemed a little not so safe with me. I'm not quite sure, but the attitude was quite laid back, and I was kind of confused as to who to approach and everything. Then I came across this one particular counseling company, and they were pretty nice. Let me tell you, they were super sweet, super helpful, and I just showed them my SOP, and they said that it was pretty good and it's pretty good to go. You don't need to change anything. I was like, oh, that's great. I mean, because I took help from my friends and my family to verify my SOP. Took me nice 4-5 months. So I went to them. And that's how I went about it. So I'll come to the thing that I really want to share. So my next question will be, do we need them? It depends on you. If you're not quite comfortable with filling out the entire applications, if you're not confident that you will get it right, if you believe that you will make mistakes, or it'll be confusing for you, then I'll say, okay, don't do it. Go through an agent or a counselor. But trust me when I say it's a very easy process. If you might have filled your NEET applications or JEE or any other college applications, it's very similar to that. So you don't need to be intimidated or scared by it. It's pretty normal. So I personally believe you don't need them, because there's a lot of resources on the internet available. I'm sure 100 other YouTubers are there on the internet who would help you out with the application. And if you speak to your alumni, where you want the colleges where you want to go, if you speak to the alumni, they will also help you out. So I personally believe you don't need them, but if you feel that you need that sort of push or help, definitely go to them. It's not a bad idea, but just remember about the cost associated with it, because you're already paying a lot for the application fees. Let me break down this to you, because right now I'm going through it. You might feel that the entire process of applying to a college is difficult, but the actual tough task is once you get an offer from them, because I'm taking an education loan, and the entire process behind is crazy. The number of times I've had breakdowns is crazy. So that's a very tough process. Getting your finance done, visa, getting your offer from conditional to unconditional, getting the provisionals, the transcripts from your own university. It's all a big process, and this drains the energy out of you. So if you feel application process is difficult, no. The real challenge lies once you get the offer. And the money that I had to spend behind just getting a loan was crazy. So if you feel that it's going to be a little bit financially difficult for you, don't go to those agents who are taking money from you, because some big companies don't take money for counseling services. They shouldn't be actually taking money. That's what I've heard from a lot of YouTubers and people around. They shouldn't be charging money for counseling you for these things. But if they do, uh, go to them only if you feel they're reliable, and go to them if they're only worth it, or else don't spend your money behind it, because there are free sources everywhere on the internet. Yeah, do we need them, right? So depending on your financial status, depending on your like actual need, like wanting them is a different thing and needing them is a different thing. Wanting them because, oh, my friends have taken a counselor, so even I should take, is it's just waste of money and waste of your time. They'll confuse you further from the process, so it's better that you stick to what you have. But if you feel that you really need their help, then you go ahead with it. Next, coming to the point, who did I choose? So I chose a lot of agents because I was confused and everybody was not very helpful. So in the end, I went ahead with this one company, and they were pretty good. They were pretty nice to me. They were very choosy about the kind of people they were helping out with, and I went in through some certain thing. So they didn't charge me money, but they were charging a very minimal amount for people, which I think was an okay amount of money. But they didn't charge me, so I was like, okay, great, then I don't mind. And I didn't need the SOP help, I didn't need the LOR help, I just needed help to apply to these other 2-3 universities which I had shortlisted, and if I would get any application fee waiver. For Cranfield I was getting, so I was like, okay, one university at least I'm getting. So yeah, I went ahead with them, and the entire thing was going on all great. Everything was great. I wouldn't say they are bad people, they're really good people. But what happened to me was I had applied to Imperial before I approached these agents, right? I had applied to Imperial because Imperial's the timeline starts from, I think, July and August end, somewhere like that. It's pretty early than the other universities. So I had applied to them, like when they started, I had just applied to them then and there only. And the other universities I had applied to around like October, November. So I had approached them after I had applied to Imperial, and I got an admit to Imperial. Before that, I got an admit to Cranfield also, and then I got into Imperial, and I didn't want to double think about any other universities that were gonna give an answer to me, be it a rejection, be it an acceptance or waitlist. I knew that I got into Imperial, and I really wanted to go there. So I told this to them, and I think they were okay about it, and they didn't seem any weird and this. But seeing onto the rankings and speaking to alumni and everyone, Imperial sounded like a better choice to me, personally, because both the universities were charging me around approximately the same fee. Here I was getting to live in London, and I was getting more opportunities, and some other small minor details regarding to modules and everything. I was like, Imperial was better, and I got into the top ranking university, so why would I go to Warwick? Anyway, they were pretty understanding about it, and they helped me, and I asked them for any scholarship resources that they could help me out with, how to prepare and everything. They were okay about it, and there's this one girl I was coordinating with over there. She was also pretty sweet about it. She was very helpful to the end. But then this one thing happened which kind of made me feel not so great about them and counselors in general. So all of this went down, and later on, guys, if you feel like this video is going too long, I think you just should take some snack or some tea or something with you, and then you can just sit. Yeah, so once this was done, I was kind of paranoid about the accommodation situation, because you might be hearing now and even before that the accommodation in London and in the UK was pretty bad. That the houses were getting very expensive, and you had to book like within a week, because as every week was passing, the rent for the accommodation would be increasing by like 5-6 pounds, which was too much. Anyway, accommodation in London was expensive, and I got into this really expensive university, and the accommodation was expensive. So I was like, I need to find a good place, because I'm going to be living away from home for 1 year. It better be a good place, and I'll have to lock it down before the rent shoots up. So I found this one place through my friend, through Amber Student. I found this one place, and I booked through them ASAP. And during that time, I was not in a lot of connect with these agents, because I did ask them about Edinburgh. I got a rejection from Edinburgh, and I was asking them about Manchester. They told me, oh, they've put me on wait list, and I'm like, okay, fine, just keep me updating about it. But I'm sure they were busy with other students who might have not gotten an admit. But I was anyway one of their students, right? So I expected them to connect with me a little bit more frequently. But anyway, a little disconnect was there, but it was all okay because, yeah, I mean, I was way ahead in the process than the other students. Then what happened was, I think they asked me to record some video or review, and I did all that because I was really happy with their service, and they were super supportive people, and I really loved what they were doing compared to what the other industry agents were doing. So I was like, okay, great. And then what happened was, I booked this accommodation through Amber Students, right? So like exactly right before I was booking the accommodation through, like right before I confirmed my lease, I was actually looking through other options like anybody would do. So I was not only sticking to Amper, I went to Uni Acco, I went to Uni Living, and I was searching, I was asking all these agents to, I mean, obviously those accommodation agents would put pressure on you because they have a certain target to achieve, and they have to, once they get a client, they would want to get something booked out of the client, right? So they were being helpful. I won't say they were not helpful, they were being really helpful. They were giving a lot of property shortlists, and I was getting confused and chose one or two, and I was like, okay, you know, these are my preferences, I don't want to see the other ones because of the location and a lot of other factors. So I was kind of shortlisting them down, and according to my convenience, I told one or two of them, like, you know, I'll let them know later, you know, when I'll be free, because anyway I was very busy with my college. My lectures were like getting scheduled at random times the entire day, and because it was a final semester, we were pretty everything was pretty hectic. So genuinely I was not getting time to reach out to a lot of people because a lot of things was going on at that time. I told them that I will reach back to them later, or I might have missed one or two messages from them. So that happened. And then I reached out to these people also if they have any sort of accommodation help, because I mean, they themselves did not come to me and tell me about it. So I mean, obviously, fine. I thought that they might be, you know, like take this help, and but then it did not happen. So I thought, okay, I should approach them maybe because they're busy. So they were very kind enough to like tell me, oh yeah, they are tied up with Uni Living, and they would help me out, and you know, they just shared my number. So this girl, I think, called me 2-3 times during my college hours or something, so I could not pick it up. And then this representative from the agent told me, why am I not picking up the call, and you know, that girl's been trying, please pick up. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry, I've been really busy with the you know, my college and lectures. I will get back to her, like, you know, give me a day or two, I can't rush things. So then I later on called that girl and I spoke to her, like, you know, sorry because I was busy and all. And then she told me this and this. I gave her my preferences and everything, and I told her this is what happened. So she showed me some properties, and I was like, okay, you know, I just look into this and that, and I did not like few of them, and I was like, okay, fine, this and that. And it was just one day into talking to that girl or that guy, they put me into this WhatsApp group, and this guy with University Living, this was the same agent with whom I spoke to like few weeks back when I was actually on like this crazy hunt before shortlisting things. So I knew that guy, and you know, so I was like, oh, it's the same guy, so he might know my preferences better, so he might show me one or two, because anyway I had shortlisted this one accommodation in my mind, but I was just looking out here and there. If I find anything better, maybe I can switch to that. But the things that they showed me, I didn't like them that much, so I was just like, okay, you know, never mind, this and that. And I didn't like it a lot. And by the time my friend also was on board with living with me in that one, the first shortlist which I thought about, so she told me that she's okay with it, so we went ahead and booked it. Now I told them that I booked another accommodation, so I think I won't be needing the help anymore. Thanks for, you know, helping me find other places. I think I'll go with the one which I had initially thought about. I don't need these. They were like, no, I should do it via them. I'm like, it's already done. Like I did it separately. It's like me and my friend, we booked it together separately. So I can't just remove my booking and book it through them. And they were pestering me like, no, why did you do this? You know, we have a tie-up with them and you did this and blah. I'm like, even though I have a tie-up with them, it's not compulsory for me to book an accommodation through them compulsorily, right? I mean, it's always gonna be an option. If I don't like it, I won't. And I chose something else. So you can't force me that way. So it just felt a little bit forced to me in the end. It felt as if you know, you've been scolded by this principal or teacher from school that why did you do this. And I felt like a culprit for like a minute, and I thought about it for like a whole day or two, and I was like, it's not my fault here, because I think it's nobody's fault here, but then they shouldn't have treated me that way, or they shouldn't have spoken to me that way, which made me feel really bad about, because 2 weeks ago I spoke so much good about them, and 2 weeks later they talked to me in such a bad way. So I get it, they have this tie-up and they have to be on their good books, but be it University Living or be it anybody else, or everybody has to understand that that you can't force a student to get a place, or you can't just treat others because I mean, everybody has a choice, and I wouldn't stick to what they will show me. It's definitely, I have my own preferences, I have my own choices. So that happened, and then I thought, okay, this entire saga is over. So they told me, Lakshmi, don't do this again, because they have, I'm like, okay, I understand, I didn't know this was going on, so I really apologize for it, I'm sorry, and thanks for your help. That's it. Then after a month, when I got when I really needed help with respect to, I think, scholarship or something, I texted them, but they stopped replying to me and everything. Let me just check. I think I have the text messages over here. Yeah, I really wanted help with the grade scholarship and everything, so I texted her 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and I texted them. They stopped responding to me, and they stopped giving me updates about the universities I had applied to, which I felt was wrong. I mean, if you were pissed about this, at least you shouldn't have like dropped somebody just halfway there, because I had paid money to getting to know about the results from those universities. So I still don't know what happened to my Manchester result. I mean, I generally don't care because I got an admission and I'm going ahead with this one university, but I would definitely would love to know about what happened, because I paid money, right, for the application. But anyway, this went down and she stopped responding to me, so I texted one of the higher authority, her boss, like the sir there, and he responded to me and he said she's quite busy with other applications. So wait, I'll tell you that also. Yeah, we would have loved to help you, but we're extremely busy because there are a lot of admissions and will not be able to devote time, which will be unfair to you. And they said all the best. So I understood that was like the end from them. So I was like, why should I pester them or force them? So in the end, I just said, okay, thank you. Thank you for everything, and just ended my conversation over there. Yeah, so that was my story. Moral of the story. That was the story. So moral of the story is basically, however good the agents are, however good anybody might seem to you, people can just drop you at the last moment if things don't go their way. They've been really nice. I wouldn't say they're bad people, but might have been inconvenience for them, so they just dropped me off, which I didn't feel was a good thing that they did. They could have communicated with me also properly and told me, or I mean, they shouldn't have abandoned me in the first place, because I mean, I just didn't feel the need to abandon me that way. They could have at least told me about the Manchester result. They could have helped me about the scholarship, and yeah, I mean, they didn't do that. So great. I mean, that's what people do. So in my mind, what I have said is like, oh, all these counselors, all the agents are the same kind of people. So however good they might portray themselves to be, I think it's best, according to me, I think it's best you don't waste your energy, you don't waste your emotions on people. I think it's best you don't waste your time. Just use it for yourself. Take help from your friends, your teachers. They are there for you. Your professors, your friends, your family, and you have alumni on LinkedIn. I think the best way to reach out to people and get help is LinkedIn. Create a nice profile, reach out, like put in the keywords of the university you want to apply to the course, and you'll find a list of people. Send them a message, request them a connection, and send a proper like message about who are you and where you want to apply and what help you need from them. And I'm 100% sure if you send 10 texts like that on LinkedIn, you will get a response from like 3, 4, or at least 5 people for sure, because I got the same experience, and I heard a lot of other people also went through the same experience. So instead of getting into this entire khichdi with the counselor and agent, I think it's better you do it yourself. I think that would be my take from it. And yeah, that's all I had to share from my story about the agent and what you should do, and my advice. I mean, I'm not a great person to give you an advice, but if you can take something out of the story, yeah, I mean, you can be careful about it and not get into this thing, because it was a little bit mentally and emotionally draining for me for somebody to drop you just off like that in the process, and when they promise you that help you out, and then in the end just like put their hands up, just because you did not listen to this one thing, which felt a little off to me. But yeah, that's that. Yeah, so thank you for watching my video. If you've been here with me till the end, thank you for watching it. And oh, if you want to know anything more about the university, the course, or if you want to see more videos from me, do let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any doubts, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I'll just put my LinkedIn link in the description, and I'll put my Instagram, and you can reach out to me anywhere, and I'll be glad to help you guys out. So yeah, that's it. That's all for the story time, and that's all for the experience that I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye. Don't forget, okay, oh my god, I forgot to say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like this video, and press the bell icon if you want to know YouTube to update you that I've put on more videos, and if you want to know more from me. So that's it from my side. Bye. Have a great day.